Oh man, how many Kadena tokens do you need to hold into 2024 to become the next crypto millionaire? Kadena is a token moving heavily here to the upside over the last couple of weeks. You can already see that this project has completed a 250% return, but many are expecting this to just be the start of where Kadena could end up in the 2024 bull run with a halving year. So in this video, I'm going to break down the realistic approach of what can actually happen and how many tokens and how much do you need to invest for that to become a reality. If you appreciate these type of breakdowns, smash up the likes. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. We are actively trading through this festive period. IjazCrypto.com/TG. So if you want to make some gains, if you want to learn how to trade, jump in there and speak with like-minded people in the community. Now look at this, guys. Nice move here on Kadena, moving away from its lows of 41 cents, now touching as high as 1.66. And the question on everybody's mind is, how much do I need to hold, right? If I'm going to allocate some Kadena into my portfolio, how much do I actually need? So, not only am I going to break down those exact numbers for you guys, but I'm also going to give you the framework for how I think about these kinds of token investments. So again, if you appreciate it, make sure you do subscribe. So let's start off here. And the first thing I want to share with you is we've got to take into account, of course, what is the current price. So we can see Kadena right here, right now, trading at around 1.44, just moved to 1.48. That's fine. That's where we're at today. We're sitting on a market cap of $380 million here. That puts Kadena at number 143. Now, this video is not meant as a fundamental breakdown of Kadena. I've done various videos where I've done that. We know it's a fast-growing layer 1 scaling solution, which is based on proof of work, which is the consensus mechanism of Bitcoin, but in an efficient, environmentally friendly manner, which is scalable, which is very interesting, and they claim to have solved the blockchain trilemma. So when we come back into our spreadsheet here, I like to think of this in terms of 3 targets, right? Well, 5 targets. A base case, like what do I just expect to happen? Like it's not even a risk, it's quite safe, and I expect this to happen. That is what I call the base case. Then I have a target case, which is like, if I'm investing in this token, like this is what I expect. Like I'd be annoyed, and the team should be annoyed if this didn't happen. Then I put in the achievable goal, right? And the achievable goal is like, yep, if things went our way, there was a little bit of a tailwind helping us, the markets are quite positive, we can get there. I don't see any reason why we can't get there. And then I have the 2 crazy ones, the stretch and the moon. And it's very important before I show you the numbers that I never in any of my investments plan for the stretch or the moon target to play out. Now, these will be the targets that probably the Kadena team set for themselves, right? There's no way you would be building a solution like Kadena if you didn't think you can go and hit some of these stretch and moon targets, which make you take over the crypto space, right? I'd like to think any team building a project has that kind of ambition, but I never plan for it. But something beautiful happens. When you invest in a portfolio, guess what? Many will hit the base and target case, a bunch will hit available, and guess what? A couple are going to start hitting the stretch and moon case. So even though I don't model for it, I don't expect it to happen with any of my investments, I'm fully aware that it can happen, and 1 or 2 of these amongst, every 10 to 15 investments you do can and will hit stretch and moon, and it's really going to help your portfolio grow to the upside. So when you then price this in, I then started looking at, okay, what are the different market caps that we could get to, right? What do I think is a reasonable base target? What do I think is a reasonable target and achievable? And we start modeling those out. Because remember, the price means nothing. Remember, there's a new crypto trader born every single day, and they don't know that this price here is a confusion. This doesn't tell you the value of a project. It doesn't, right? If somebody tells you that Shiba is 0.0000, that doesn't mean it's cheap. No, you have to look at the market cap, right? Something like Shiba is more expensive than Kadena. So everybody, the newbies get tricked by this. You have to look at the market cap, which is why if you want a $20 Kadena token, it basically means that the market cap has to go to 5.19, right? You have to have the equivalent growth from $380 million to $5 billion in market cap in order to see a $20 Kadena token. Very important that we understand that. But I need something else to help me with this decision making. I need this. And so on the right hand side, what I've put in is I've put in other blockchains, some of them comparable, some of them just for kind of measuring stick purposes, to tell us what is a reasonable market cap, right? So what I've done is in this column, I've put the current market caps, and in the right-hand side column, I've put the all-time high in the previous bull market, the all-time high market caps for some of these projects as well. So we can get an idea of if our price targets are absurd or if they're realistic and base and achievable, like we're trying to break down. So when we start off and I say, okay, my base target is that we can get to $5 billion in Kadena, Do I think that's ludicrous? Absolutely not, right? That is super base target right now. We're seeing many projects. I mean, if you come here into CoinMarketCap and go down to the kind of projects which are at 5 billion, now very important. Keep in mind, these are at 5 billion in a bear market, right? Or entering a bull market now, right? So this is nowhere near getting to their all-time high. So you got to remember, the crypto space is going to grow. We're expecting Bitcoin spot ETFs. We're expecting more institutional adoption. We're expecting the Bitcoin halving, which is going to create another bull market. And so we expect all these market caps to start moving to the upside as more money flows into crypto. So when you look at this, you're talking about Litecoin sitting at 5 billion. You've got Bitcoin Cash, 4.6 billion. Cosmos sitting at 4.3 billion. So to say that it can't achieve this in a bull market, right, is what I call a base target. So very comfortable for me. I'd be very shocked and dismayed if Kadena, something categorically like a 5 Sigma event would have to go about for this to mess up, right? Kadena's team would have to collapse. They'd have to mess up or get hacked, or something really wrong would have to happen for them to navigate into the bull market and not get up to the 5 billion mark here in terms of market cap. And so if you want to become a millionaire using this base case, remember this base case, which I think is quite safe, you would actually need just shy of 50,000 Kadena tokens today at the current price, right? Now, some of you may have started buying earlier, right? Some of you may end up buying later. But to give you an idea, if you're buying today, 50,000 Kadena tokens, you could become a crypto millionaire if the market cap gets to $5 billion. That's just the maths of it. This is not me speculating and shouting out random numbers like other crypto influencers do. No, we'll let them do that. We'll actually be grown-ups and look at the numbers here, okay? So what's that going to cost you? Well, if you go into the market today and buy yourself 50,000 tokens, it's going to cost you just shy of $70,000. So for those of you with a bit more excess cash on the side looking to throw in some money, you're looking at $70,000 to throw into Kadena. It hit its base case of 5 billion, and you have a 14 times ROI on your money, and you'll be sitting in $1 million worth of Kadena when it reaches that price target. Cool, good to know. Right, what's my target case? Well, my target case is that we can hit $100 on Kadena. Now, that's going to be a bit more of a meaty job, right? That's going to mean the market cap will need to be around 25 billion. Is 25 billion crazy? Let's put it into perspective. Let's jump back into here and take a look at what is sitting at 25 billion right now. I mean, let's put this into perspective first. Cardano's sitting at 21.6 billion here in a bear market again, guys, right? So Cardano, and I hold Cardano, so I'm not poo-pooing on Cardano, sitting at 21.7. They've only started their smart contracts and started building protocols and getting total value locked, and they've been much higher than this. Again, if I go back to show you, Cardano went as high as 95 billion in the last bull market. So if you're investing in Cardano now having improved, right? Because back then they had no smart contract platforms and they were sat at 95 billion in the bull market, you're going to expect Cardano to eclipse its all-time heights. So you're expecting it to be 100 billion plus in market cap. So at that point, would it be ludicrous to say that Kadena, if they didn't do things right, could be a good alternative as a proof of work solution, sitting at a quarter of its market cap in a bull market? Again, I call that a nice, sensible target range. And again, if the Kadena team can't achieve that, I think they would have to consider their mission failed, right? If you can't get to $25 billion market cap being, the superior proof of work blockchain, you're going to feel like that's a failure, right? You're going to feel that's a failure. And again, by the way, guys, there is another project called Casper, which is also proof of work layer 1. I've made a few videos on Casper as well. Definitely go check that out. I'll give my opinions in the video, which I'll link up for you guys here. Now, what would you need in order to become a millionaire at this price point? Well, if Kadena does reach $100 at $25 billion in market cap, you would need 10,000 tokens today. And that would set you back $14.4 thousand. So $14,000 today, not too shabby, right? Could deliver you a 69 times ROI. And this is where you personally, right? This is not financial advice. This is where you personally have to sit down and go, what is my risk to reward appetite? What other projects do I have in my portfolio? Do I like Kadena? Do I have space for a project like Kadena? How much do I have to invest? And could I be looking at this 69x reward? Now, maybe you can't afford 14,400, but still, whatever you do invest, if it hits this case, you're looking at a 69 times reward. But to become a crypto millionaire on this case, you need $14.4 thousand invested today. Not as crazy as it sounds, right? When you start thinking about the numbers, when you start actually breaking it down and looking what's required. All right, now we're going to up the ante, guys. We're going to go for the achievable target. And this is the one that should kind of scare you, but it's still achievable, right? It's not as scary as these ones which we're coming on to, but it's achievable. $128 billion in market cap. And this is at the point where people start to look at me like I'm crazy. Like, how is Kadena going to go from 370 million to now getting to 128 billion in market cap? But this is where they have to execute, right? This is where they have to have a really, really good bull market. They have to attract great dApp developers. They need to have good security. They need to have good throughput. They need to create mass adoption. Things need to go in their favor. And of course, the bull market will need to go in their favor. And again, I remind you of the landscape of last time's bull cycle, which again, we expect to eclipse, right? You don't expect the next bull market to be the same market caps as the previous ones. You expect many tokens, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, to break their all-time highs. So if you look at the all-time highs for Bitcoin, it's sat at 1.2 trillion. Ethereum was sat at 569 billion. So what we're saying here in this achievable target is saying, can Kadena, if they execute their game plan really well and have a bit of luck on their side, could they get to a quarter of the size that Ethereum was in the last bull market? Okay, because maybe this cycle Ethereum can get to 750. Maybe in this cycle Ethereum could get to 1 trillion and break that 1 trillion. Many are saying Ethereum could flippen Bitcoin. So again, you make the argument, say, can it not reach that kind of one third to 1/4 of Ethereum's previous bull market cycle? And again, I don't think that's out of the realms of possibility. I'm happy to model these kinds of expectations in if the team deliver what they need to deliver. So therefore, what do we need to become a millionaire? Well, 2,000 tokens is what you need. And in the market at today's price of $1.44, remember, expecting this to go up to 500 to get to 128 billion in market cap. It's no mean feat, but it'll cost you just shy of $3,000. Yes, $2,800, delivering you a 347x on your money could make you the next crypto millionaire, which is pretty insane to think about, right? It's pretty insane to think about when you play these trades and these, not trades really, long-term investments in your portfolio. The risk to reward can really start to stack up in your favor. Because remember, when I invest in a selection of altcoins, I don't expect all of them to hit here. I said this at the beginning. I expect the majority to go hit my base and target, knowing fully well that some will go on to achieve the achievable chart and a few will hit stretch and moon. But as long as I can hit these, it's not too shabby, right? 14x on your money, 69x on your money. If it occasionally hits this, 347x on your money. Insane. Right? So that's what the price target is for there. Now we're going to get onto the juicy ones where you may call me a little bit crazy, and we'll rattle through this. And the next one is going to be your stretch target. Can you get to $1,250? Insane to think, given it's at $1.44 right now. $1,250 on a Kadena token. That would need a market cap of $320 billion. In other words, that's still only about 2/3 of what Ethereum was in the last bull market, and it's still just above where Ethereum is currently without this bull market ensuing fully just yet. So again, things will have to go super well, right? Like, this is a proper stretch target. Everything would have to go well. Ethereum would have to be, Kadena would have to be the standout layer 1 solution after, let's say, Ethereum and maybe one other like Solana or something, and it would just have to execute perfectly. Everybody would have to be talking about it. Loads of dApps being built on it, loads of total value locked, and it's like the place to be, right? Things would have to go really, really well there for that. But that would need, for you to become a crypto millionaire, you would need 800 tokens, and that would cost you just over $1,000 today, and you're just shy of 900x on your money. Yes, stretch target, guys. Of course, this is not something I would ever account for nor plan for, but it's good to know what the numbers look like. And I'm going to end this with the moon target. And the moon target for the Kadena moon boy sitting there thinking, like, how high can this go? Right? What could be a crazy target that we can aspire towards? And maybe the internal team at Kadena set themselves this kind of a target to say, you know what? There is no reason why we're not better than Bitcoin, right? There's no reason why we have the proof of work consensus mechanism that Bitcoin has, but we've got smart contract platform. We're efficient. We're scalable. We've solved the blockchain trilemma. And Bitcoin in the last market cycle hit $1.2 trillion in market cap. Why can't we do that, right? Why can't we get to $1.2 trillion? And if that happens, and it's a very, very big if, you're talking $4,750 on every single Kadena token. In order to become a millionaire, you will need to hold just 211 tokens in that instance, which will cost you a very, very small sum relatively of $300. Again, delivering a 3,000x ROI on your money. And I'm sure you can understand that this is a crazy target, right? This is more than ambitious. This is to say, look, we're going to get to Bitcoin's $1 trillion market cap plus more, and no other altcoin at this time of writing when I'm making this video has ever hit that level. But maybe in the next cycle they do. Maybe Bitcoin goes towards 2 trillion, 3 trillion. Maybe Ethereum sitting at 1.5, 2 trillion. And so we start to see there's more space. The ceiling has been lifted for other projects to get to 500 billion, 700 billion, 1 trillion eventually as the crypto space grows. Again, of course, hugely moon target. But again, you guys make your assumption of where you sat on this risk to reward curve, right? Because like I said, I only have a model for these situations, knowing fully well sometimes the achievable target hits. And so if you look at the achievable target, if we take this middle target here and say, could Kadena, if they deliver really, really well, get to $128 billion? Well, if they did, we're now talking just $2,800 of Kadena bought today could make you the next cryptocurrency millionaire. So there you have it, guys. There is a little treat for you guys heading into the new year. Hopefully you enjoy this type of video. If you do, comment below with which altcoin you want me to make the same video for next. As always, guys, join our trading community, ijazcrypto.com/TG. We have some amazing stuff going on in our Telegram community, and you're completely missing out if you're just relying on these videos. Make sure you jump in there, meet like-minded people, look at how I actively trade the market, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.